That's the thing, though. Like, when you're in a conversation with somebody, you can't fudge the facts.
First of all, Keemstar is very, very pro free speech. You would know if you
Sure.
did research on him. Haha. But yeah, I
never said he wasn't.
really.
But what the evidence I'm presenting to you is that she not only added him, she added a whole bunch of people. Some of them were Twitch streamers. She messaged a whole bunch of people, and to think that that wouldn't have some sort of implication for her to message a whole bunch of people, say whatever she was saying about Mr. Girl, and to think that that wouldn't have some sort of effect on whether he gets banned or not, that's like baloney. Debating? I don't know. She wants to talk, so we'll see what happens. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are ya?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for fitting me in. I appreciate that. I'm stuck in this stupid fucking UK time zone.
No problem.
Can you believe that?
Just
hate
give me
British
a second
people.
here.
I hate
Chat.
their time zone.
Chat, can you hear her all right? Sorry, if you speak just a little bit more, I want to make sure they can hear you, so.
Yeah, sorry, my voice is like gone, but hello chat. Hello Stardust chat.
Okay. Looks like they can hear you fine. All right.
Okay. Perfect. So, anyway. My name's Mayhem, as you can see, and I don't know, you definitely did notice, but I was the one that made the video on you like about a week ago, I want to say. And excuse me, I could see like in the replies, Jesus, my voice is dying. Sorry, I'm sick.
Sorry to hear that.
In the replies, you were saying like, hey, like I take callers, like if you want to talk to me, like just call into my show. And so I was like, you know what? Like, hey, why not? Smaggle talked me into it. So here I am. So
cool.
Yeah.
So I guess what are your contentions and stuff with me?
Yeah. So can I just preface this with one little thing? Like, this is not like the contention I had in the video, but like I was just confused about your refusal to engage with me on any platform except this one, you know, one-on-one on your stream, okay? Because I made a genuinely critical video on your stances, and then you refused to watch it or go on other people's shows. Like I made a couple jokes or whatever, like I goofed on you a little bit, but you know, that's how you make an entertaining video. But the meat of the video was genuine criticism. So I mean, the only inference I can draw from that is that you think I'm somehow like bad faith or something. Like I don't think I've done anything to indicate to you that I am that way.
So
have I?
So basically what this looked like to me is like somebody made a video on me, and I just kind of treated it the way I treated lyrics, right? Which was like, I watched his first video. Some of it was like out of context, and I responded to his first video, but after that, I didn't watch anything else that he made. And so that's generally like, unless like people are going to like, I feel like if somebody actually has a problem with me, they're going to, they should be able to like come and talk to me about it directly, right? I don't want to go on other people's shows because I feel like it's just other people like monetizing drama, right? And they could be stirring the pot, and I would rather not do that. I would rather just have a conversation with somebody. So.
Well, the only thing about that is that, you know, I'm not a streamer, right? I'm not you call yourself a debater. I'm not a debater, right? The format that other people make videos, like other people don't do streaming as a format, right? The best way that I can lay out my ideas in a video, and genuinely, I think you're doing yourself a disservice by not even watching the videos and considering engaging with the criticism just because it's in video format, you know? Like what would be the difference of me doing like a 30-minute stream on you where I play clips and react and do commentary versus me uploading a video? I don't think that's too much of a distinction. And like there's other people that are making videos now, like Craig Beckett made a video on you as well when he went into, it wasn't just like, oh, Stardust a woman, she's fucking unfunny. It was like analyzing your different political stances. I think you're doing yourself a disservice.
I mean, I guess the also part of it is I have people in my community who will be critical of me. If you've ever been in my chat while we're discussing like a topic, I'll get a significant amount of pushback. And like after every debate, I also will get like pretty constructive criticism from my chat. I'll get it from like my mods who will like give me notes. And I get pretty detailed notes. I get people who will like calculate different things and like send me specific notes on those calculations, or who will fact check things. So I think it's a pretty comprehensive thing. From what I've seen from the commentary community, like it's just drama, and it's not really. In the meantime, I'm covering the Ukraine stuff. I'm cramming for multiple debates. I just don't really see it as worth my time to be like looking at these videos that are and other people who've watched them for me. I've had like other people in my community watch them and say it's like clips taken out of context, things like that. So I just don't find it worth my time. If they're telling me it's not worth my time, then it's not worth my time. But if it had like legit criticisms, I would trust them to tell me that, you know. And they told me that they would tell me that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So.
Well, I have to say that I really do disagree with your mods there. I'm sure you can acknowledge that, you know, they are your mods, right? They are people in your chat, so there's an inherent bias there. So, like they would levy different criticism than someone, say, from my perspective, somebody who isn't really involved in the Twitch politics community, somebody who isn't really involved in your chat, somebody who is just looking at the information from an outside perspective. Obviously, I'm going to have different criticisms. So again, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by not even like considering covering it, because it was a 25-minute video. If you watch it on 2 times speed,
here's the thing, my audience hates commentary stuff. They hate commentary content. And when I watched Lyrics' video on stream, like my viewership went down significantly until I stopped watching it. People, it's just not what my audience likes, and that's fine. I have a disagreement with people in commentary, and they have a disagreement with how I do things, and that's fine. But does that mean that I need to have this back and forth forever with people? I don't think so. I think we can like agree to disagree and move on.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from there. Like, I definitely like the lyrics thing. Like, I think that if you had replied like again, it would have just drawn it out. But you know, you gave him the time of day, right? And you say that your audience doesn't want you to cover drama, but then you took my call about the drama, and then you don't want to watch a 25-minute video on 2 times speed,
right.
but you'll have me on call.
Right. I took your call because it shows that the fact that you came and entered the voice chat, I think shows like some effort, you know. And I feel like,
but I spent a lot of effort. Like I spent a long time researching clips for that video. And then you won't watch the clips. Yeah, like like watching your streams, like comparing different your takes on different things. And but you don't want to watch a 25-minute video, but you'll have me on call for, you know, however long it takes.
Well, I think if you have criticisms, then you should be able to voice them to me, right?
I did through a video format,
right?
And
but you can still voice them now, right?
I mean,
you should have your notes written down. You probably write notes for your videos. You should probably have them written down. You should probably be able to present those points to me, right?
I do, but why is your time more valuable than mine?
Why should I take away from my stream time and watch a video on me when there are like a bunch of other people that are eventually going to make a video on me?
Why? I mean, like if you're watching the other person's video down the line, I don't see why it makes
I
any
won't
difference
be.
watching
I won't
the
be watching their
30-minute
video.
video on
I go to my community who are very vocal when they have criticisms of me, and when I fuck up, they will tell me. And if they think the video's worth it, they will tell me. If you want to see me get creamed in a debate, you can watch my debate with Sean Last. I get completely fucking wrecked in that debate with him. But like, and people let me know about that. People said, "Oh, Star, that first part was really painful to listen to," and I'm like, "Yeah, it really was. It was painful for me too." But like, I'm sorry, but like a 25-minute video written by somebody who doesn't know my community, doesn't know me, hasn't taken the time to even talk to me or try to understand my perspective on things or try to ask me questions, it's just not worth it to me.
I don't know. I think that's just, unfair because when you put a little you put time and effort into making a certain argument, I don't see why it makes much of a difference whether it's over a call or over a video, but we're kind of going around in circles. And
I
by
mean,
the way,
yeah, I'm not a
Blacks,
YouTube person. I'm just
yeah,
not.
and Bo Blacks in your Twitter replies actually did tell you to watch the video, and aren't you guys like friends or whatever? Isn't
I
he
didn't
like
see that
involved in your
reply.
community?
I have a
Oh,
lot of my notifications, or I can't keep track of them on Twitter. I'm
yeah, I
very much a
think he
boomer when it
got
comes to Twitter. So
I think he got his one of his accounts like disabled, so it might have been on an account that you don't follow him on. Anyway, so let's get into the real meat of this. Okay, so I just wanted to preface that. Okay, but by now we've established that I'm not acting in bad faith, correct?
I don't know yet.
Ex- okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so my contention was about your inconsistencies on your take on free speech. So the
Okay.
thesis of the video was essentially like the title is like Stardust is the worst debater on Twitch. You know how YouTube titles work, okay?
Yeah. Hmm.
So it was essentially that you are a bad debater because of your inconsistencies on your because of your takes on free speech. And free speech covers a lot of topics that you touch on in your streams. So, for example, Mr. Girl, Ukraine misinformation, like this is a
Hmm.
topic that is really relevant right now and really permeates a
Hmm.
lot of the conversation right now.
Okay.
So I think
Where have
that
I
this is
been inconsistent?
I think it's really important that you be consistent on this. So
Sure.
let's first talk about your stance on free speech when it comes to jokes. I think you know where this is going.
Sure. The bunk joke. I think he has the
Exactly.
freedom to say that joke, but I also have the freedom of speech to call him out on it. So I don't think there's an inconsistency there.
You don't think that there's an inconsistency there, but then you have the right to call him out on it, but you called him inconsistent, but inconsistent based on what?
So I thought this was about freedom of speech. If you have a problem with consistency in freedom of speech, I would need to see that demonstrated. But I'm very consistent. He can make the jokes that he wants, but as me exercising my freedom of speech as well, I'm going to call him out on it. If you think I'm inconsistent in the joke itself, Dingo, Southern Dingo, is somebody who was 100% serious, is an actual Nazi, and spent like a week after every time he went on a debate show talking about me, talking about how I'm a savage, how my lineage are a bunch of cavemen, saying that I deserve to get nuked, and then making sexualized comments about me. So I think I have my own reasons to be. I mean, obviously, he doesn't seem to see that as like as important enough to consider as maybe something to take into consideration before you make a joke about. But that's fine. He can make the jokes he wants. I'm just gonna call him out on it. That's it.
Okay. Okay. So, there's this clip, or sorry, let's just reference the whole discussion of the hippy dippy roundtable you had about, I think it was 8 days ago, where you were discussing the Twitch policy that addresses creators who spread misinformation. And from
Mhm.
what I got from that conversation, you were supporting this policy.
Can before we move forward, do you have any other issues with the whole thing with Bunk? and what I said about Southern Dingo?
I just wanted some background on that since I feel like that's a relevant
So if you did some
issue.
background on that, I have told people multiple times about how Southern Dingo harassed me, how he is a literal Nazi. You've heard other commentary YouTubers say that, yeah, Southern Dingo was not joking when he said that he thought I deserved to get nuked.
That's wonderful, and I actually included a whole portion in my video to explain about that, but I just you want me to ask you questions about things that I was, confused about. And so I just wanted like to see if there was anything that I missed, okay? Any context that I could have added.
Well, it seems like you don't understand what consistency and freedom of speech even means then.
I'm
because
getting
there's no
to that.
inconsistency in freedom of speech there. So
I'm getting to that.
Okay, I hope you get there.
Yeah. Okay, so Twitch policy that addresses creators who spread misinformation.
Mhm.
So from what I got from what you were saying there, you were saying that misinformation shouldn't not that it shouldn't belong on Twitch, but that, creators should put in like a decent effort to not spread misinformation. I think we would agree with that.
I think if what I remember from that is that initially in that conversation, I'm somebody who's like very pro freedom of speech, but when it comes to a private platform like Twitch, they have the right to exercise whatever policy they feel is right, because it is a private business, right? Private businesses have different standards for what type of speech is allowed on their platforms versus like a public square, right? And I think I even was like getting confused midway in that conversation because while we were having that freedom of speech discussion, then we started having arguments about conspiracy theories. So yeah, that's kind of what I remember from that.
Yeah, so in that conversation, you specifically were talking about how there was another person on that call. I'm so sorry, I forgot their name, but they were talking about how it's different for like a teacher versus a Twitch streamer. But then you said, well, a Twitch streamer has an audience of, 10,000, 50,000 people. And so with that, they shouldn't just be saying garbage. So I want to know why, in your debate with Merrick, you were saying how it didn't matter that you spread misinformation in your debate with Mr. Girl because it's, quote, just Twitch, and that you didn't need this level of like academic accuracy.
So, right, when Mr. Girl, the point of my conversation with Mr. Girl was not a debate. I did not have a debate with Mr. Girl. My conversation with Mr. Girl was to get to know who he was and why he is not obsessed, but like why he's fixated on certain things. Because I've noticed people generally have a very personal connection to things when they're very fixated on them. And so
your stance on the original Twitch policy did not say creators should do their best to not spread misinformation in debates. It was in general. So I don't understand how it being a debate has any relevance.
Again, if you remember that Pippy Dippy debate, I actually at the very beginning of that debate said when we talked about the freedom of speech thing, I if I'm recalling correctly, I'm pretty sure I said that like, hey, I don't have like a firm stance on this yet, but I do think that like in general, people should be able to say what they want. If a platform decides that what you're saying is going against their image or going against what they want, they have the right to remove you from that platform. I think that kind of goes in line with what I'm saying. We have the right to say what we want. I have the right to question him about what he wants, and he can respond with what he wants. And maybe it is inaccurate, whatever he said. But when it comes down to it, it would need to be up to Twitch guidelines to tell me if what I'm saying is going against what they want, right?
Okay, so then why did you so like fiercely contest Mr. Girl's ban?
Because the ban was not about his about misinformation. The ban was surrounding BX Bullet, saying that he can't say what he wants, or well, not that. BX Bullet basically criticized him, added a whole bunch of different people. Private messaged a whole bunch of different people because she didn't like the interview that he was doing. And the interview that he was doing, it had nothing to do with misinformation. He was interviewing somebody who had a version of OCD, basically. So I think that in itself is a violation of freedom of speech, right? just because she was upset about him, she decided to target a whole bunch of different people. Now, the real reason for his ban, who knows? Maybe it was justified. But what I really didn't like was her deciding arbitrarily that she's going to tag a whole bunch of different people, message a whole different bunch of people who don't have the background knowledge of who he is interviewing, and who he's talking to and what he's talking to with them about. And in itself, it seems suspicious to me that he was banned shortly after that.
I refuse to believe that Twitch is kneeling to some rando on Twitter. And you know that it is possible. Oh yeah, because Keemstar owns Twitch.
No, but when you add enough people who have enough
Keemstar
power.
Keemstar is
wait.
No. Let me finish.
When people at a bunch of people who have a lot of influence, right? And sure, Keemstar might not have participated in that, but he wasn't the only person she added, and she spread that around to as many people as she could. There's no way to misinterpret what her intentions were by her messaging a whole bunch of people.
I can at Jeff Bezos as much as I want, okay, but that's not going to do anything, okay? And first of all, Keemstar is very, very pro free speech. You would know if you did research on him. But yeah, I never said he wasn't. Really.
But what the evidence I'm presenting to you is that she not only added him, she added a whole bunch of people. Some of them were Twitch streamers. She messaged a whole bunch of people, and to think that wouldn't have some sort of implication for her to message a whole bunch of people, say whatever she was saying about Mr. Girl, and to think that wouldn't have some sort of effect on whether he gets banned or not. That's like baloney.
I find that just so unbelievable. Are you like 100% sure that he didn't violate a guideline? Because you are aware that Twitch can ban you for off-platform behavior, correct?
Yeah. He is. Yes, people can be banned for off-platform behavior. And people.
So even if the interview that he was doing didn't ban terms of service, then maybe he could have been banned for doing something else off the platform, because a lot of people.
Well, we don't have that information. The only information that we have. So you
think that it's completely out of the question that he violated a guideline?
Okay, so I already repeated this to you earlier in the conversation, but we don't know the exact reason. But the timing is very suspicious. That she woke up, she was very upset by his stream, and started tweeting it out, messaging people, messaging various content creators, and trying to at Twitch and at Twitch support to get him banned. And then he did. That's the only information we have. And I criticized her for it. I never said that she directly may have been responsible, but I think it's very suspicious, and I think it's fucked up to do that.
I think in just now in the conversation, you were implying that she was responsible, but I feel like we're kind of getting off track here. So I feel like, whose free speech trumps whose free speech? Like, whose free speech is more important to you? The creator on the platform or the companies? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
The company always overrules, right? But when you get enough people let's say you're a company, and this happens with sponsorships, I'm sure you've seen it, or if you get enough audience members who are like adding a company and saying, and sending a whole bunch of outrage their way, they will just automatically ban whoever, drop whoever they're sponsoring, just to make that wave of messages stop, right? And it's just an easy way. Like, you get enough. It's the same thing with mass flagging, right? And you get enough flags, it just automatically, takes you off, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends. But anyway.
Yeah. As Edwin says in the chat, you get enough Karens, the company will cave. True.
All right. I think that was all of my questions. That was essentially the criticism that I levied in my video.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was it. Was I in bad faith?
I think you clearly didn't understand my points because I've made them very clear. And I think the first one specifically was just absolute bullshit. I've
I'm
explained.
sorry. I thought I was allowed to ask questions here. I thought I was allowed
Yeah,
to
you're
ask
allowed to
questions.
ask questions 100%. I'm just telling you what I think. Okay, so what I think is that the first claim was kind of silly because it doesn't. I've never been inconsistent on the freedom of speech thing. You are able to exercise your freedom of speech, and I'm able to exercise my freedom of speech. That means I'm going to criticize Bunk when he openly endorses somebody who harassed me. Who is quite literally a Nazi. Okay. Secondly, that means with my freedom of speech, I'm going to criticize BX Bullet for acting like a Karen and trying to get somebody banned. Whether that actually led to her getting him banned or not, who knows? But the timing is weird. Three, that means that I am going to exercise my freedom of speech to basically criticize lyrics or anybody else. And that's fine. And anybody else can have your freedom of speech to make your video on me. And I also have my freedom of speech to not care and not, I mean, it's not really freedom of speech, but I mean, I don't really have to watch your video, especially given that you don't seem to understand the very basic term freedom of speech. So.
Okay. Thanks. We'll take that into account. I don't know, anything else? Like, do you want to call me a slur or something? Like, do you want to ask me like where I'd be on the human centipede with my parents?
No, I don't. The reason why I asked that is because Southern Dingo was already going on his like fucking crazy racist rant, right? I couldn't get a word in. Like it had been like 40 minutes and I couldn't get a fucking word in with these people. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking troll. If this is just what it's going to be, I'm just going to fucking troll. So I did that. And then he like lost his shit again and just like, but yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. So, you know.
No. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I thought it was based too. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, Stardust. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, maybe encourage your friends to not endorse an actual literal Nazi. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Howdy do, chat. How do you think that went? Went well, in my opinion. Jesus Christ, Star. Very brain dead. She can't tell them that because free speech. She wanted. Okay. So much patience. Who was that? It was some girl who made a video on me that I didn't watch. She was just so angry, and I still don't understand why she was mad. Well, apparently I'm not allowed to call people mad now, so. WTF letdown. Didn't expect her to be so easy. I'm confused. Look, if people have criticisms, come on and talk to me. Why the fuck am I going on somebody else's show where they're monetizing it? I'm not even getting anything out of it. Like, why the fuck would I? You know? Stardust, by her definition, she was violating your free speech. I don't know about that, but she clearly doesn't understand freedom of speech as a value, basically. So, yeah, good stuff, guys. Really good stuff. Very funny. Stardust, fan of Haz, is in the lobby. All right. Are we doing another one? For Twitch's worst debater, she didn't have much pushback, Stardust. You're also not allowed to watch crappy videos that criticize you. I mean, look, if the criticism is good, I'm sure I trust my community. I've not just mods, but people in my community who will look at these videos and tell me if there's anything valid in them. But the very fact that she can't be consistent on what freedom of speech is to her kind of speaks to me. So it was really telling that her first complaint was not getting a drama farm off of you. What a parasite. Oh, this Tanky left the lobby. I guess they don't want to talk to me anymore. I was ready to talk to this yelling Tanky. How much longer is there of the confirmation hearing? Let's see.
These ideas being taught to children as young
Is
as
he going
4,
on
in
about
respect to the
CRT
first
again?
book, as young as 8 and 9 in respect to the second book.
I don't think I've ever seen a YouTube creator that just makes videos and doesn't engage in live conversations ever do well against somebody who streams and gets immediate feedback. True. I get immediate feedback. I get live feedback during some of my debates. I'll have people who will be like, I'm closing my eyes. This is so bad when I'm in a debate with somebody. Like, seriously? Like she was saying you were dodging her. Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. Children. Am I right? Children. Is it true that Boblax really was telling me to watch the video or whatever? I would have to look at that. I mean, she joined the Discord today and joined the lobby instead of asking before started streaming. Entitlement. Look, I don't want to call her entitled, though I think it's pretty entitled to like think that you're entitled for me to watch your video. So. You know, that could have been a conversation. Instead of her spending so much time, however many hours she spent, putting into a 25-minute video, this could have just been a conversation that we had. This is why I like live streaming. Yeah, and she could have put the convo on YouTube. That's the thing, though. Like, when you're in a conversation with somebody, you can't fudge the facts. If your stream is on a delay, is it really live stream star? I'm calling you out for your 10-second delay. No reasonable person is going to come after Stardust anyway. Look, I've been wrong before. I've been inconsistent before. But this freedom of speech one was not the angle you wanted to take. For live streaming is like improv, YouTube vids, or like stand-up. I have a problem with you and I'm in the lobby, you slut. Okay, International Z Fighter. I don't know if I can trust you to not say slurs on stream, so. Okay. Anyways, let's resume what we were watching. Z Fighter is busting out here. Okay. Z Fighter. Okay, fine. Hello?
Yeah, I actually have a big problem with you because it seems to me that you participate in this targeted harassment campaign of my Khan, Haz.
What have I done that's been targeted harassment, my dude?
So a couple days ago, I was enjoying myself watching his stream,
Mm-hmm.
which I often do.
Mhm.
And suddenly you just popped in and you just made all these really weird comments.
Like what?
Like, are you the father, for
Yeah.
example?
I wanted to know. Are you the father?
Why did you do that? Why did you suddenly just pop in?
Suddenly, well, I mean, somebody in his chat messaged him and said, you know, Star wants to fight you. And I was making a joke because he never responded to me saying, like, fist fight me. But then he actually wanted to fight me, so I got into the call, and I was kind of, honestly, I was kind of practicing for my panel show that I had that coming up at 9 o'clock, because one of the questions is, are you the father? And it's supposed to be really awkward. So
What kind of is it is a little bit awkward when
It's very
like this
awkward.
so here's what's awkward. So when like a random lady just comes in and is like, so do you want to fight me? Do you want to box me or something?
Look,
Why did you do
we have
that?
history, fan of Haz. Haz and I
What
know each other very well, okay? And he knows that I've been challenging him to a fist fight for months now.
you think that's ever gonna happen? Do you take that seriously? You think that's gonna happen?
No, it's not going to happen because he never responds to me.
No, that's not the reason, and you know that very well.
What do you
Or
mean?
do you think he's just gonna pummel you down?
I don't know. We don't know. He never agreed, so I haven't started training. So
No, I mean, let's be serious here. Like, you think he's just gonna beat you up? You think he would do that? That's
I
how you
don't know,
see
dude.
him?
I'm making a joke. He can respond in a joking way. I don't know if you guys get jokes over there.
So, from my point of view, it seems like you just came in to create a YouTube video, and when I go into your channel, I see you have the photoshopped image of Haas. Again, targeted harassment. Why did you do that?
The photo, because it's funny, and I didn't even make that Photoshop image.
No, but you put it on your thumbnail.
People use my clown image all the time. I'm not offended by it.
You're not offended by the clown image, so people use it, but Haas has clearly publicly taken offense to the Photoshop and the targeted harassment. But you just felt like it's okay for you to just come in to the stream and just
I'm a
bully
streamer
him and then
too,
make this
my
video?
dude. I'm a streamer too. We had a conversation. I uploaded that conversation to YouTube later. That's how streamers work, right? That's how we do our
Yeah.
thing.
So listen, start. That would be completely fine, but why did you have to make that thumbnail?
I mean, if he's offended by the thumbnail, I'm willing to change the photo that I have for him in the thumbnail.
You said that you know him well, or like you have history or whatever.
Or
So
well,
you
we
should
have
know that.
history, yeah.
Well, listen. You should know that he's been harassed relentlessly by you demons
My
with this very
demons.
image. You're clearly demonic.
I'm
With
demonic.
these images, yes, with
Okay.
these images for quite a while, and you
So
still
when
decided to put that
when
image.
he and I had our first falling out, I had like this crazy tanky spamming gore at me on Twitter. Do you think that I ever went after him for that?
That sounds like a random individual. Has nothing to do
Somebody
with this
spouting
conversation.
all of his same talking points, spamming gore at me. Did I go and complain to him about his fan base, about his targeted demons, his demons harassing me? No. Even though every time I tweeted, this person, this crazy tanky on Twitter, was replying to all of my tweets with gore. So no. Really?
Wait, are you talking about Haas here with Crazy Tanky? Because that wasn't clear.
Targeted harassment, right?
Yeah, you put spit and targeted harassment. You harass Haas relentlessly.
How have I harassed Haz relentlessly? I had a very decent conversation with him. We were very friendly.
So you kind of started it off dishonestly with like, are you the father thing?
It's a
And
joke.
then you dishonestly, hold on, you know you're being disingenuous when you challenge him into a fight. You're participating in
also
the
a
joke
joke.
that. Okay.
I'm sorry that he can't take jokes. I'm trying to have a good time with him, lighten the
Well, we're
mood.
not talking
If
about whether
he
he can
can't,
take it. Hold on,
here's
we're
the
not talking
thing.
about that.
Here's the thing.
I'm not
Like
talking for him.
Haz knows me well enough at least to know that I'm like 60% memeing, right? At all of the time, I'm at least 60% memeing. The guy, so he should know that. And he's memed with me before. We've memed about like the origins of pizza. Like he told me that pizza came from like, I don't know, Serbia. And it was funny and we all had a good time. But like, but he is just like, I think that he is taking things too seriously. If he leaned into the memes a little bit more, I think he'd be a fucking king. He'd be a fucking champ, dude. Everybody in Twitch politics would be worshiping him if he just leaned into the memes that people made.
Okay, so that's your assessment. I have a slight disagreement, but I can live with what you said. So I have another problem with you,
Mm-hmm.
Anna. Now, the way that you covered that entire thing was extremely disturbing. You were like Twitch's Dr. Phil. You
I'm
were
not Dr.
abusing
Phil.
the fact. You were abusing the fact that there was a mentally ill individual on
Mhm.
this platform, and you were creating content and making money with it. You're a
Okay.
disgusting
So let me
individual.
actually explain this to you. If you watch the first panel where I was on with Anna and with Haz and with Zerka, she spent 5 hours crying about Destiny, and they had slept together one time, right?
Yeah, we know. We
And wait,
know.
let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. So, and the person stirring the pot was not me. That was Zerka. Every time I came in to de-escalate the situation, Zerka would mute me. Every time I tried to de-escalate, I would say something to de-escalate because I'm good at that. He would mute me. And Zerka and Haz would continue to stir the pot, and then Destiny was on vacation. He'd have to get up and get onto the call. And if you have a problem with people exploiting a mentally ill person, you should have a problem with Zerka first, because he's the first one who did it, and he's the one who exploited the fuck out of it. And then, as if there weren't plenty of other people on that panel who've been victims of abuse, who've been victims of rape, who've been victims of physical abuse, it doesn't matter that all of those people are being simultaneously triggered. Doesn't matter that people in the audience are having their trauma like relived in real time because Anna is crying about her relationship with Destiny. I'm sorry, but if you have a problem with somebody exploiting somebody for a mental illness, go to fucking Zerka first. Don't come to fucking me, okay? Every time I've talked about Anna, I've mentioned that her OCD is very real, her pain is very real, and that people should be taking her OCD very seriously. I've always been sympathetic to her OCD. I've always been sympathetic to her pain. So you can go take your fucking words, shove them up your ass, because you don't know shit about me. You haven't watched enough of my content to understand where I'm coming from. I've always been sympathetic towards her, but I've always been trying to de-escalate the situation, and I've always advocated that people understand that her OCD is very, very severe. Unbelievable. I mean, you come in here and you have nothing about me and make all of these statements about me. Fuck you.
No, you will not fuck me.
Yeah, I
So
won't.
what you said is a lie. I've seen the streams with you and Doobie. You were
Me and
unnecessarily.
Doobie. Yeah, have you seen the
Yes,
stream with me and Waffles and her friend Demorpheus, where I talk to them, and while I'm sympathetic to them, I tell them that Anna's OCD is very serious. I hope she's being taken care of. I know her pain is real, and I'm worried about her. Have you seen any of the times I've talked on stream about OCD and how people who think they are okay with OCD can oftentimes be suffering very, very severely?
No.
Yeah, you didn't see those, did you? You only saw one stream with Doobie.
No, I've seen multiple streams
One
where
stream
you badmouth her.
where I badmouth her.
Yes.
Where she maybe after she
being
said that I was
horrible.
morally what was it that she said?
Probably
Morally
abhorrent. because you
abhorrent.
are.
Yeah, something like that. Even though I'd been trying to take a pretty fair stance with her. The only times I've ever said anything about her that could have been interpreted as mean were times when I was responding to her saying stuff about me. I am a victim. I'm a victim, and it's just kind of insulting that you would think I would purposely inflict some sort of harm on somebody who is very clearly in pain. Obviously, things that were said, she can take them, and and she probably felt offended. But I've never said anything other than saying that we should be compassionate, we should be understanding of her having her OCD.
That's a lie.
Okay.
You have said other things, but yeah, okay. You can live in your reality, and I can live in the reality in the real world where you are a bully and you abuse people just to get ahead on Twitch.
If I'm a bully, then your King Haz is a bully, so Yankees are speedrunning mental illness. Yeah, who knows? Dude. Okay, guys. Why the fuck would I care about commentary drama when I'm like literally arguing with racists on a daily basis? I mean, seriously.